I was already a fan of Dhanush, but now I also know that his production company is named Wunderbar Films, which is German for wonderful. Servus Freunde, my name is Jimmy Cage. I've reviewed more than 400 Indian movies on the channel, and today I want to talk about the 2014 Tamil language comedy drama mass movie Velai Ila Patadari, also known as VIP. It stars Dhanush and it marked the directorial debut for Velraj, who also wrote the screenplay and did the cinematography. He has mainly worked as a director of cinematography, and he also did some films together with Dhanush before, like Adu Kalam for example. And it was in fact Dhanush who suggested to him to direct something himself. When Velraj showed him the screenplay to VIP, he agreed to star in it and produce it as well. Dhanush also produced the soundtrack album and wrote all of the lyrics, with Anirudh Ravichandra composing the music. And the soundtrack is pretty good, and I'm especially excited about two tracks. Vodakadavat and Udangada Sangu, which I'm pretty sure I will show Dennis for our favorite song reaction segment. Now, the story of VIP is pretty simple, and in that simplicity also lies a lot of its charm. The short synopsis on IMDb goes like this: a jobless young man gets to redeem himself, which is also what the title Velai Ila Patadari refers to. It can be translated as the unemployed graduate. And that unemployed graduate is of course played by a young Dhanush. His character Raghuvaran is the older one of two brothers. Both of them are still living with their parents, but while his younger brother Kartik already earns good money, Raghuvaran has been unemployed for a few years now. He could get a job, but he has studied construction and he won't accept anything other than what he has set his mind to. He's basically an angry young man with a big heart and a sense for justice. And he also owns a cheap motorbike that's really awesome and almost becomes like a character itself. And while his mother supports her older son nevertheless, his father is pretty harsh and he's constantly verbally abusing him. Which is pretty funny. The father is played by Samutri Rakhani, and I just have a sweet spot for this kind of comedy. And then there's also the girl next door, Shalini, played by Amala Paul, the obvious love interest of the movie, who can't stand our tragic hero in the beginning but warms up to his charms pretty quickly. Which is totally fine, because Dhanush is really damn charming in the role. Over the few movies that I have seen him in, he has also quickly become one of my favorite Indian actors. I loved him in Karnan, and Dennis and I just watched Puri Bithai a few weeks ago, in which he was also great. In VIP he can do both. He can show his acting chops, and he can also be this larger-than-life mass figure who will make the whole audience cheer for him. And that's what VIP is doing so well. It's a nice mixture of some sincere drama and comedy with a topic that's very relatable, and then it also has these wonderful and fun mass moments, which becomes obvious from the very beginning when he's introduced and the movie pretty much shouts the VIP hymn to us. And then it's just a nice entertainer that's also not too exuberant with its runtime. And like many, or maybe most commercial Indian movies, it's pretty much divided into two halves. And if we take that short summary again, a jobless young man gets to redeem himself, we could pretty much cut that into two halves as well and describe very well how the movie functions. The first half is about that jobless young man and how he is frustrated and insecure about his love. The second gives him the chance to really become someone and fight back against a corrupt and spoiled adversary. Both parts have their moments, but for me the first is certainly superior. Dhanush's character is just more engaging and relatable when he's still down on his luck and trying ways to overcome his personal misery. There seems to be more energy and passion about that portrayal. He brings so much charm to it, and when he's still able to find joy in all of his hardships, it's even more powerful, and you as the audience are really happy for him as well. Of course, there are obstacles in the second half as well, but it feels more superficial. There's also this strange comedic relief in the second half. His colleague from work who becomes his assistant. I'm pretty sure that this aspect is just something that's a bit lost in translation, or where I'm missing the cultural background. For me personally, it was just very bewildering to all of a sudden hear that character's inner monologue. Kind of a comedic commentary to what's happening. In the first half, our protagonist did some narration every now and then, which is nice. But hearing that other character in the second half, just for the comedy, I'm just not a fan of that. And it was also only slightly amusing. Definitely more amusing are the really nice fight scenes and the powerful, explosive dance choreographies. So, in German I'd say, VIP ist ein netter, charmanter Danush-Entertainer, dem die Mischung aus mitfühlender Tragikomödie und explosivem Mass-Appeal gut gelingt. Selbst wenn die zweite Hälfte nicht ganz mit der ersten mithalten kann. I give Velai Ila Patadari 7 out of 10. It's more like 7.1, but I don't do that. Alright, that's it like always. Comment below and let me know what you think about VIP. And also, which Danush movie should I watch next? You can hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, Letterboxd and also on Patreon, simply at TheJimmyCage. And if you enjoyed this episode, please give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, whatever you like. And make sure you hit that bell for all I have to tell.